Okay, here we are. Plastic on the top, plastic on the sides. Okay, so a couple of tips to mounting. Get at least 2 mil because the other stuff is too thin. Do the sides first. Staple them on, cut them to size, staple them on, and do the top last so that the top will lapse over the top of the sides and it won't get inside the cage. Water won't, anyway. Another thing, you see how I have the edges rolled? That's to keep it from ripping in the wind. This is light plastic, it's not strong stuff. So if a wind hits it and you've stapled it through one thickness of plastic, it'll just pop right off of there. It'll just tear. So what you got to do is at the edges, roll it up and put the staples through a lot. Now, I didn't do that up at the top because it's covered by the top stuff. But the other thing is, why leave the painter's tarp on? Well, it's also for shade, so the sun doesn't get too hot in there. They're now essentially living in a plastic bag, so we have to be thoughtful of the fact that when the sun shines, it's going to get hot in there. So this is one of the major reasons that I leave the bottom uncovered. So that's free air circulation down there. If it gets hot up in the top, heat rises, so the upper part will get really hot, although not too much because the front's open. So heat will rise and pool up at the top of their cage where the perches are up there, but get about a foot down from it and it will slide out the open front of the cage, you know, to some degree. And then on top of that, these birds are not dumb. So if they get too hot up there, they'll go sit on the ground. Where there's free air circulation, it won't be hot at all. So, the other thing is the tarps help with condensation. Yep, all those warm, toasty little bird bodies in there in the wintertime will actually make it several degrees warmer inside the cage than outside. So we get some condensation, and the tarps being underneath, the cotton canvas tarps underneath the plastic tarps will absorb any condensation and keep it from getting damp and drippy and icky in there. Okay, so, and I also run it out to cover the, my airlock, so that, the floor stays dry on that and I don't have to tramp through muddy, icky stuff. So that's it, all the way around. And I put a couple of boards on top, running across it lengthwise to give it a slope to help water roll off of it. Sometimes it just pools up there anyway, but hopefully that'll help a little bit. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's what that is there for. Okay, I better get busy and do the rest of them now.